everyone, my name is Leki and this is my son Kiwi, and today we're here to talk to you about climate change and Earth justice. And because I like to pretend that this is an art channel, and because I'm sure it's much more interesting to watch than me trying to keep Kiwi here when he clearly has more important things to do, like chew on my hair, I'm going to do this talking over a Speedpaint video. Bye, Kiwi.
First things first, what is climate change? Briefly, it's what happens when the atmosphere fills up with what we call greenhouse gases, like carbon dioxide and water vapor, which trap the heat from the sun and stop it from bouncing back into space. This makes the atmosphere slowly heat up, which leads to a rise in global average temperatures. Now if you're thinking, hey, but that's nice, it's pretty cold where I live, stop thinking that. That's wrong. Climate change isn't the same thing as weather. When the weather is warm, it's nice and we can sunbathe, but when the climate gets warmer, that's a lot more permanent and it has some unexpected effects. You probably know about the ice caps melting and the sea levels rising, but climate change also causes all kinds of extreme weather events, like the bigger and bigger hurricanes the United States has seen in recent years. Or what we have this week in Finland, a snowstorm. Basically, the weather we have now is just going to get a lot more intense thanks to climate change. So I get that climate change might not seem like the scariest or most pressing issue at the moment compared to things like ISIS or North Korea or Nazis or Donald Trump. It's easy to just think that it's a problem for the future because that's sort of how our brains work. It's harder to feel threatened by something that happens gradually, like climate change does. But the problem is that once climate change gets so bad that we are going to have to address it, it's going to be really difficult to actually do anything about it. You often hear people say things like save the planet or protect the earth, and I'm not here to tell you those things. I'm here to say save yourselves and protect humanity. Because, let's face it, the earth has been around for over 4 billion years, and some form of life has existed for most of that time. Humans, on the other hand, as a species, we've only been here for around 200,000 years, which on a planetary scale is kind of a joke. This planet and life on this planet isn't ours. It doesn't belong to us, we belong to this planet. And to think that we would be able to destroy the Earth or life on Earth is pretty much just vanity. The Earth was here long before us, and it will still be here when we're long gone. So when I ask you to fight climate change, I'm not asking you to save the Earth. The Earth is going to be fine. What I'm telling you is this. If we allow climate change to progress at the current rate, if we refuse to take action, we're not destroying the Earth, we're destroying ourselves, our children, and our children's children. We're making the Earth uninhabitable for ourselves, drowning our cities, killing our crops, driving species we depend on into extinction. To fight against climate change is not this kind of altruistic act of giving and suffering for the benefit of the planet. It's actually kind of a selfish act of self-preservation for us right now. So in Greek mythology, there's this dude called Atlas, whose job is to carry the earth on his shoulders. So in some versions of the story, it's a punishment, and in others, it's an honorable duty. But whatever you choose to believe, whether you choose to think of it as a duty or a punishment, that's up to you. But regardless, it is our responsibility to be Atlas and to carry the Earth, because if we drop it, we're dropping it on our own toes. I'd like now to talk to you about an organization that does a really good job at helping us with carrying the Earth, with fighting the battles we need to fight to make sure that the Earth remains a home for us, that we don't have to immigrate to Mars, because in case you didn't know, Mars is a cold dead rock and living there would probably not be a very good time. Earthjustice is a non-profit environmental law organization operating in the United States. Yeah, I know, I'm not American and probably most people watching this aren't American either, but the United States is one of the largest and most influential nations in the world. So what happens there inevitably affects the rest of us, whether it's by their emissions having a global effect or their policy sort of dictating what other countries see as an appropriate policy. So, Earthjustice. They have over 100 attorneys, and what these attorneys do is they take on cases where the environment is threatened, and consequently the lives and health of the people who live in that environment are at risk. They work to defend nature and wildlife, they fight for clean water and air, and they advocate clean energy and healthy climate. For example, this September, Earthjustice won a 16-year-long battle to protect 50 million acres of forest. For us who use measurement units that actually make sense, that's over 200,000 square kilometers. That's a lot of forest. So, are you a fan of the Earth? A fan of living here and not on Mars? A fan of coastal cities like Miami, Rio de Janeiro, and Shanghai? Help the Earth? Help ourselves by helping Earthjustice fight to make the world just a little bit more livable for all of us. You can do this by sharing this video, voting for it on projectforawesome.com, donating to the Project for Awesome, or donating directly to Earthjustice. All the relevant links are going to be in the description and hopefully also in the info card if future Lieki can figure out how to do that. Also, in the card is a poll about how you're participating in Project for Awesome this year because, well, I just love polls.
So, that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching, thank you for contributing to the Project for Awesome in any way you can, and finally, don't forget to be awesome. Say bye, Kiwi. Bye. Oh, you're chewing on my finger. Oh, how nice, thank you. Okay, bye-bye.